Ladies and gentlemen,
Hebrews 5:6, Part 7. KJV. As he saith also in another place, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So far we have looked at this mysterious man named Melchizedek from several angles. We have looked at the significance of how many times he was mentioned in the Old Testament. We have examined the role and symbolism of numbers in regard to this intriguing figure. We have focused on his name and its description, looked at his role as King of Salem, and typology of his priesthood. Today we will round out our devotional sketch regarding Melchizedek with a look at exactly what Abraham was doing when he met this grand, but obscure figure. In Genesis 14:18-20, we find Abraham, as he had been blessed by God and recovering Lot and the others who had been taken captive. Meeting this priest of the Most High God, Abraham gave a tithe of the spoils to Melchizedek. This is the first mention of the practice of tithing, giving a tenth of our increase to God, in the Bible. So what is that all about? Well, as Melchizedek is described as a priest of the Most High God, he is God's earthly representative. Today's subject is going to tick off some folks. But here we go. As God's earthly representative, it was totally appropriate to honor God with a tenth of the increase from Abraham's household. This tenth was not made as payment or deposit, rather, as a recognition of God, a recognition of God's deliverance and blessings, and a recognition of God's superiority. As the Bible clearly states that our sovereign Creator owns it all. As such, 1/10 is not just a token of our devotion and esteem, but also a recognition that it is all His, anyway. Some take issue with the tithes and offerings being collected in the church today. They make the case that the tithes and offerings were Old Testament commands, and that we are no longer under the law. To that end, I refer back to Melchizedek being introduced before the law was even given. Regardless whether Melchizedek was a type and foreshadow of Jesus Christ, or the manifestation of a pre-incarnate Jesus, Abraham knew where his bread was buttered. Abraham recognized one who at least represented the fount of all blessings. Therefore he gave. The church today and throughout the last 2,100 years is the living embodiment of Jesus, our high priest. The church is the body of Christ. Therefore, as Melchizedek received tithes and offerings before the law, it is totally appropriate for the church, bought by the blood of our high priest Jesus, to receive the same. Having been delivered from the law, I personally do not believe in a tenth. That in my mind, far shortchanges our God. Rather, all that I have is His. This puts a 100% emphasis and focus on what I do with God's blessings. You should try it sometime. It's a blast. DOTG, at DHBCLV.